Just starting recording now.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, overseas friends, Nia and Glenn from Indonesia, Renata from Singapore, and all the other friends from Penang. Whoever is watching this YouTube, very good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining me in this short presentation of the YouTube Ngondro. Although this is a YouTube Ngondro class, in the morning we will talk about what the gist of the Ngondro, the YouTube Ningtik Ngondro, the retreat, what is all about, the foundation. And in the afternoon, we will go into the practicals to, how you say, to exhibit what we learned in the morning about the common foundation, okay? the common practice, because in any foundation practice, in any Ngondro, you are always talking about the common practice and the uncommon practice. In all Vajrayana, so some of you have taken the retreat on the Ngondros. All the Ngondros, you are talking about these common and uncommon practices. And in the YouTube Ningtik, YouTube teaching, we have one more additional practice which is called the routine practice. The routine practice which is important. So there are three aspects of the YouTube Ningtik, which is common practice, uncommon practice, and the routine practice. It's good to understand these aspects even before you do the retreat. Now, why is it so important to understand this retreat? Because in all the foundation practices, all Vajrayana schools, you have heard about taking 3 months retreat, 6 months retreat, 3 years retreat, 1 year retreat. That is the foundation practice of all Vajrayana, Lamas or Yogis, the old traditions. But in the YouTube teachings, alright, because YouTube himself, being a practicing doctor in the days of his time, he knew what is the issues we are all facing. So here we are. What he has come up with. You are aware who YouTube is? Our Guru, Divine Guru YouTube. Okay. Just briefly, Guru YouTube. Just briefly for all of us, Guru YouTube, the Buddha YouTube, is actually the manifestation of Medicine Buddha. Okay. Medicine Buddha manifested twice in this world. The older YouTube and the younger YouTube. So there are two YouTube, which is actually the Namanakaya form of the Medicine Buddha. Especially the young YouTube, which we are following, because this teaching comes from the young YouTube. And this YouTube Ningtik teaching is normally only practiced by doctors, yogis and healers. They are not, how you say, talk to the outside circle people. But because YouTube himself could see, like the Buddha, the future, he could see the past, present and the future, he knew that during this century, our time, people will not have time for spiritual practice. So don't talk about taking 3 months or 6 months for the retreat. I think even for some of you, taking the 7 days to do the retreat is like an effort to put in. And this is what he has come out, minimum 7 days to do this retreat, and upon understanding on the spiritual practice of this YouTube Ngondro, you can integrate this practice into your daily life. Why do you need to do this? Because we are in this world where we need to understand, okay, this comes back to the first teaching, which is the common practice. Because in the common practice, there are 5 questions 5 questions that everyone, doesn't matter whether you are, what race you are, what religion you are, okay, you need to ask these 5 questions. Okay. The question of the precious human body. Okay. How difficult it is to have a human body. And what are the things we can do in the human body? What can be achieved? And why we should not waste time having this human body. Okay. Then the second question is, after that, is the impermanence of life. The impermanence of all things. So, and then there's the natural cause and effect, and consequences of living in samsara. And then of course, this is the 5th one is the, what you call this, the spiritual liberation, the benefit of the spiritual liberation. So this 5 questions is generally an average person should be aware. The common person should be aware. Common person, irrelevant of race, culture, or color, we should aware this body, this important body. Okay. So therefore, Guru Yuto has formulated this retreat to 7 days. The 7 days of this practice in the retreat. And if you understand this, why we are doing this common Ngondro, why we need to do the uncommon Ngondro. Okay? Because if you are a Buddhist, then you must participate, or you should participate in the uncommon Ngondro. Because the uncommon Ngondro is more for the, what you call these Buddhist practitioners, especially those who wanted to have a better liberation, who wants to, if you, how you say, wish to have enlightenment in this lifetime, then definitely you must do the uncommon Ngondro. If you need to know the higher teachings, you need to do the higher yoga teachings of the Vajrayana. Uncommon Ngondro is a must. Okay. To complete the uncommon Ngondro, then only there will be some spiritual realization. Then you integrate this into the routine Ngondro, the routine life, so as not to create new karmic, negative karma into your life. So as not to create negative karma into your life. Okay. We will talk about this one by one. From here, we will talk about first the why this precious human body, why this body is so important. So, are you all aware now who Yuto is? Generally? Are you all aware? Hello? Hello? Yeah. This is a live participant. Yeah? If you are not sure, then I cannot go on until you understand. Otherwise, you see, learning Dharma, as Buddha Shakyamuni himself says, we must know what we are here for. To me, when this class was formed, in my original Qigong days, from my very first day of teaching Qigong, teaching other modality, if there are no 9 participants, I won't start a class. I won't start a class. But this time round, because of the revelation, the revelation of what's going to happen in the future, I told my good friend Alisa that, whoever comes, that is the journey we walk together. It will happen in the class. So even if it is not 9 people, the class will be on.
It's 9 now.
Yeah, so that it was a test from the Guru to see whether my ego still want to stick to the 9. So I said it doesn't matter, we don't need to stick to the 9. Okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I can accept it. Because at the least, they must, whoever here, they must understand what it is all about. Because why it is so, I've seen many of my friends, it's so unfortunate, they take the 7 hard days of retreat. The benefit they have is only so little. Yes, you do prostration, you do chanting, recitation, all this. But if you don't understand what the common Ngondro and the later next week we talk about the uncommon Ngondro, how the precious human body is. In a second, you know, you lose whatever you practice in the retreat. Whatever, waking up in the morning, doing the prostration, the benefit is only minimum. So it is very important why any practitioners who wants to do the retreat, whatever retreat, especially the Yutok retreat, because it's only 7 days, understand this essence. Today we are going to talk about the uncommon, the common Ngondro, and the common Ngondro itself. I assure you, you will see the benefit why this human body is so precious. Okay. Without this human body, everything is limited. It's only because of this human body we are, how you say, I wouldn't want to say we are super being, but the benefits, the sky is the limit. We can do this. And the beauty with this human body is because we have a mind, and everything comes from the power of the mind. Everything comes from the power of the mind. Okay. So this human body is definitely very precious. Many other beings, they have a body. The ants have a body, the dogs have a body. All other, mosquito has a body. But the mind is very limited. Their Buddha consciousness is very, very veiled. It's close up. It's very hard to find the God consciousness, the Buddha consciousness. Because why? They only focus on survival. They only fight to survive, all animals. Humans are the only being who can make choices. Think about that. Humans are the only beings who can decide what they want in life. Buddha never agree or never say yes or no when somebody consulted him. What about the astrology, the life and all this? He never say no, he never say yes. Because end of the day, it depends on what our level of perception is. We manifest our own life. We create our own destiny. This is the importance of the human body. We are able to do that. No matter what situation we are in at the present moment, no matter whether you are the richest person in this world or the poorest person in this world, whether you are the healthiest person in this world or you are the sickest person in this world, it's all impermanent. It will come to pass, as the Bible says. It will come to pass. Nothing can be forever. And everything, you can call it karma, is a vicious cycle. It's a cycle. That's why in the Bible it says, do unto others as thou would have them do unto you. This is a Buddhist class, but I'm quoting the Bible. Strange. Yes. Do unto others as thou would want them to do unto you. This is what the Buddha's teaching is about. So, this common practice on this question of the human body, this subject alone, okay, we are going to spend more time, because this precious human body, we can do so many things. We can do so many things, okay, this human body. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. We can learn how to utilize, okay, the energies available in the universe. And why do we need to know what is the universe, the energy in the universe? Because we are part of the universe. We came from emptiness. And if we are into emptiness, then there's no sickness, there's no pain, there's no suffering. But we haven't come to understand that stage yet. So at this stage, we must understand how to utilize this human body and why we need to maintain this human body. This human body, like everything that exists, is all about energy. It's all about energy. Okay? So there are no such thing as a good energy or bad energy. Right? Because energy is energy. It's how we perceive it to be. That is where the things goes haywire. If you perceive it as bad energy, it becomes bad energy. If you perceive the bad energy to be good energy, it becomes good energy. Simply like I was observing in life, that you can have a mantra, you can have a talisman on the roadside. So if you are not aware that it's a mantra or it's a talisman, people just walk over it, the car go over it, that's it. But if you are aware, oh God, that's a mantra, and if I walk over it, that's disrespect. So that becomes the positive energy, that becomes an energy that will have a reaction. See? So with the understanding of this energy, then how do we utilize this energy? Because Buddha teaching is about the middle path. So what is our understanding about the middle path? What is your understanding about the middle path? How do we maintain this healthy body? It's all connected. So what is the middle path? What do you think is the middle path, Vincent?
Balance.
Very good. Balance. Our energy only has positive or negative. It's either yin or yang. Okay. Even in our Tibetan medicine, it talks about the 5 elements, the energy of the 5 elements, and within the 5 elements, the energy in the 5 elements, you are talking about the balance of the yin and the yang in the 5 elements. If you have too much wood element, that is also a problem. If you have too much water, that is also a problem. If you have too much fire, that is also a problem. So everything in life, to have a healthy life, we must have a balance. The yin and the yang must be balanced. Okay. We will go into more details in the afternoon when we are doing the healing exercise on these yin and yang energies. For now, we will just continue with the Buddha's teaching on the Dhamma. So, for example now, another example why this human body is so important, so precious. You know, we take for granted. We are only focusing on, like, I hate to say this, yeah, but you know, many out there, instead of being a human, they are no more human. It's a dog-eat-dog world, my God. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Isn't it that the same? Isn't it? So, one person is trying to be smarter than the other person trying to be smarter than the other, so that they can be ahead of them. So, instead of being the human as they are, it's only when their business collapses, when the doctor says, my friend, I'm sorry to inform you, I think you got a big growth in your stomach, in your colon. Oh my God! That is the only time you wake up. That is the only time we wake up and say, oh God, please help me, where do I find? And we will go into so many actions to create, but never getting the peace of mind. If the doctor says you got only 1 week to live, average human will be worrying for 1 week. Ayo, 1 week I'm going to die, 1 week I'm going to die, what am I going to do? Even if say it's 12 hours, for the whole 12 hours you will not be able to sleep. You'll be worrying, oh my God, I'm going to go. So, this is the only time the human becomes a human. This is the only time. I'm going to share with you a story which I heard from my grandmother in the younger days. It's about karma, and it's about the changing of karma, and it's about the health. And it's also a combination of about fortune telling, about ego. So I think I will share with you this story now because it also involves the human body, the preciousness of what a human body can do. In Malacca, in the days of Malacca, we are all babas and nyonyas. Are you all aware about that? Okay. I come from one of the nyonya families. My grandmother was a nyonya. Okay. And so she has, although she was illiterate, she has a lot of stories about this in her time. Because being illiterate, they got to listen very carefully what's going on in life. And this is the story she told me, one of her friends. A very rich lady, because she became a widow at the age of early 40s or early 30s. Late 30s, early 40s, she became a widow. Okay. Those days, I don't know why, maybe the men cannot live too long, they got too many wives. Yeah. So anyway, she was a widow in the, became a widow in the late 30s, early 40s. And she was rich because from a rich family in Malacca migrated to KL, and even the KL she was married to a arranged marriage to a very rich man. So there's a lot of properties, especially in the Ampang area. And Ampang areas are all supposed to be rich people. Where this, what you call this? You know where the KL, what you call this? The KL Tower and all this, that area. So it's called the, what do you call it? Golden Triangle. She had a big bungalow there. I think my grandmother showed me the bungalow in those days. So what happened was in Petaling Street, okay, in Petaling Street, they used to have people selling hawker store. They used to have people push cart. They used to have people telling fortune. They used to have people writing letters. Yeah, many people don't know how to write letters. So Petaling Street is where you find all these facilities. So there was this famous astrologist who can, how you say, the Chinese, they call it what, the counting of the Pachi one. It's fortune, but it's very accurate. They call it Pat Tao or something. Numbers and that kind of thing. The geomancy. They will tell you. So very accurate one. They can even.
Abacus.
Not abacus. They use the fingers. They use your date of birth. Then they tell you exactly what's going to happen to you the next minute or the next hour if you want to know. This is the very accurate. And he has put up a sign there saying, if my prediction is wrong, you can come and remove this signboard. 插招牌 In Mandarin, how do you say that? There are some Mandarin friends out there. Take away the signboard, okay, which is which is, people fight, in the days of old, when you take away the signboard, it's a matter of life and death already. Right or not? Am I right or not? So this is what he put down there. If my predictions are not accurate, anytime take away my signboard. So this lady was so rich, and she thought she wanted to invest more and how to spend the money. So she wanted to consult this, fortune teller, geomancer, whatever the name is. And he went there, he says, "Oh my God," he says, "you should not invest anymore. You only have 1 year to live. You will not pass. You will not reach 39 years. You're supposed to have a crisis, the 40th. You will not see your 40th birthday. At the age of 39 years, this is your maximum. You won't have, just don't talk about business. Are you sure I'm healthy? I'm okay. I'm very healthy. I still can walk and I still can command. I got so many servants. How can you say I cannot survive until next year? I will not see the next year." If, my dear lady, okay, so if you think I'm wrong, if you pass next year, come and take out my signboard.
It's already a coffee cup of tea.
That is the challenge he gave out. Only for, I think, 2 ringgit only, 2 ringgit to take out signboard. Oh, I tell you, those days 2 ringgit very big. Not ringgit in copper cents more. So this lady will say, "Okay, thank you. Then she was thinking, what do I do? If I die, I must go back to my hometown. So he instructed all his managers, supervisor to sell away all the properties. All the properties in KL except her bungalow in Ampang, where I had the opportunity to see. And also there was one bungalow became a culture center, in Ampang Road, right, where they have the art center and all. I don't know what is the name. So this property was there. The others was also, so she had a lot of money, those days they deal in gold and silver and that kind of thing. And those days they don't have a BMW like mine, They have to carry the sedan chair. Okay, they don't have taxi. They don't have the express bus. So they got to take a few days from KL Ampang in the sedan chair to walk all the way to Klang. Then from Klang to the coast, they go to Port Dickson. Then from Port Dickson to Malacca. So take days. So on the way, this group of people with those days the family are big. When you talk about the family, you're not only talking about the old lady, you're talking about the old lady, the manager, Bunka is, I think it's called manager. Then you're talking about the servants, then you're talking about the relatives and her family. So the whole group of people one big group of people are going back to Malacca for her to be buried in her hometown when the time comes. So as they were traveling on the way, somewhere in Sepang or Port Dickson, that area, they couldn't cross across because the bridge linking the other side was broken. The bridge was broken. Then it says, I got to hurry back, I got to go back to Malacca. How? It says, you got to wait because the flood water has washed away the bridge. There's nothing you can do unless you have a new bridge and a new road, because the overnight rain, the overnight flood had washed away all this, damaged the road and damaged the bridge. So the lady says, no matter how much, just get it done. Immediately, they started to cut down the logs, cut down the trees, whatever the roads, gravel is deep, and they did it within 24 hours. The road was repaired, the bridge was built. She did it for one reason, not only for her going back to Malacca, because she heard the people from the other side couldn't come over this town to buy the rice, to buy the groceries. In other words, if they can't come within 1 week, they will die of hunger. They can't come to the town to see the doctor. So she was thinking about all this concern, about all these people's health and benefit. So she says, these people should not suffer this way. I must relieve their pain. And she built this bridge and the road with sold whatever she had with her. And then they carried on and arrived in Malacca, her hometown, and stayed there and was like passing time, just waiting for the year to pass. Then suddenly New Year already arrived. The New Year arrived, and of course, I said, "Ayah, this year no ang pao next year I cannot see next year already lah. So you all know ang pao Ayah, auntie, why no ang pao? Because I cannot pass next year already. The fortune teller says so." But the 1 year passed. Suddenly the New Year was finished. Maybe it's the Cap Gourmet lah. Maybe it's the 15th of the year lah. But Cap Gourmet came, it passed. 1 month passed. 2 months passed. 3 months passed. Eh? No lah. Yeah, I think there's something calculation. The distrust of her blessing was there. She was based her trust on the fortune teller. And what happened? The whole year passed. Another year came. Then he says, this fellow must have miscalculated my age. Let me wait for and see what's going to happen. Maybe my age extra 1 year or less 1 year calculated. And that year also passed. 2 years passed. Instead of 40, she was now 41. So she said, I have to go back and see what's happening. So they came back to KL, Petani Street. Of course, because the fortune teller couldn't recognize her, she got so many clients. And this guy was saying, "Hey, you told me I can't pass 2 years ago, Here I am." Huh? Did I say that? Yes, you say that. Wow, now you want to come and take away my signboard lah? Of course. What went wrong? He said, come, let me see. Calculate again your date of birth. Let me see your hands. He says, my God, your whole life is changed. You have extra another 40 years. You now have extra 40 years. Please tell me what happened, then you can take out my signboard. I can't believe this is my first case. My prediction went wrong. And she told her the story. Then the fortune teller says, this is the divine intervention, your own blessing. You build a road extra 20 years. Extra 10 years. You build a road extra 10 years. You build a bridge extra 30 years. Now you got 40 years. That is why our old saying, building bridge and building road is very important karma. Giving the people access. And don't you think about it? It's only because of the human body. Because of the human body they have, it's able to do it. If the workers was not having a human body, who is going to build the bridge? If the lady don't have a human body, don't have the proper mind, how can she have all the money to give? So isn't it the human body is so precious? And the important lesson here we learn is a true story, It's a true story. And the lesson we learn here is how to let go. How to be flexible. You have a human body, but you also must learn to be flexible. You can plan everything in life. There are always something, like suddenly she come to this village, suddenly the bridge was no more there. The road was no more there. Never think about that, but it happened. So in our life, in this human life, okay, there are always that point where it will change our whole positive. And what do you think is that? The human. Human, not only we are energy beings, not only we are having a physical body being, but we are also emotional being. And this emotion, the emotion is the factor that can either take you to heaven or hell. That can take you to heaven or hell. The emotion. So, when you come into the uncommon practice, that's how we learn. We try to practice, to understand, to transform the negative emotion to positive. And how do you do that? This is the zest of Vajrayana, to transform. Okay. One good example, say for example, okay, and this is also a true story. This is also a true story. Historian, if you look into the history, the Sima something, I don't know what, I'm not a Chinese educator, but the Sima something, that during his time, they wrote this history down. There was this governor of this province, very powerful governor, and suddenly he was very depressed. He was very depressed. He felt, oh my God, life is meaningless. And so depressed. Being a governor, he has the best doctors around. Doctors all came. No good, so much medicine, this medicine, until so many doctors came. The whole room is full of his medicine to eat. Then one day, he heard there was a famous doctor, another famous doctor coming to town. And what he did was, he invited the famous doctor to come to his house. Please check and see what's wrong. And the doctor checked. Oh, you're okay. What do you mean okay? I'm sick. Sit the medicine. No, you only miss a period. Your menstruation is not regular. What? I'm a man. How can you say I have menstruation? Oh yeah, your menstruation, your period is wrong. Get out! He chased the doctor out of the house. He was so angry. How can you say that I have menstruation? I'm a man, I'm the governor, You say my menstruation is, hormones is running wild, my menstruation. Get out! You are a useless doctor. Chase him out of the house. And he was like very angry. All the medicine, all nonsense. All these doctors are talking nonsense. Menstruation. How can I have menstruation? What stupid famous doctor? How he can be famous? Every visitor he comes, that stupid doctor, he say I got menstruation, One menstruation, stupid, how he became so famous, I don't understand. Every time anyone he sees, he will talk. He will get angry, he will talk about the doctor. And then one day, after some time, he realized he don't need the medicine anymore. He had appetite to eat. He had appetite to eat. 1 month later, he had a good friend coming from another province. Another doctor, hey, come and sit down. You know that doctor, how he can become so famous? He came, he checked, he says that I got menstruation, you know. Now he laugh. Now he can laugh. That time he was angry. Now he said, how crazy the doctor is. He says I got menstruation, wrong timing, wrong period. Hiya, I don't know where he learned his medical text. Then his friend was saying, oh my God, you look so radiant. You look so well. Yeah, I'm okay already. Yeah. Yes, and you must thank the doctor. Huh? What do you mean thank the doctor? He said I got menstruation. He can't even predict what sickness I had. Yes, the doctor was using your emotion to cure your emotion. So sometimes if you know how to utilize your anger, transform the anger, it can be positive. Can you see the connection there? So nothing is negative in life unless you put it that way. Unless your ego refuses to accept your mistake. You realize, oh my God, he's really a famous doctor. He's really a good doctor. Many times in life, it is our mind that is creating issues for our life. So our human body, we feel it's not precious. Especially depressed people, they don't feel the body precious, they want to commit suicide. But can you imagine if the doctor don't have a positive body, how can he come and help so many people, save so many people's life? It's only because of this human body. Okay. Can we pause here for a while?